and the technology, connected all together with GBT.
Announcing Barton Community College's newest program, Music Accompaniment. Whether you're a seasoned pianist or just starting your musical journey, Music Accompaniment is designed to elevate your talents and understanding of the music industry. Complete a certificate in 1 year or earn your associate degree. Classes can even be tailored to match your future career goals. At Barton, you're not just a student, you're part of a family that is passionate about music. Learn more at playpiano.bartonccc.edu.
Jewelry repair, maintenance, and custom crafting of jewelry pieces is at the forefront of our mission at Diamond Art Jewelry. Hi, I'm the owner, Dustin Rhodes, and I like to correlate jewelry maintenance to vehicle maintenance. When your car is new, an oil change and occasional wash are about all you need. But as your vehicle gets older, it often needs a tune-up and alignment to keep it running smoothly. It's the same for jewelry. A light polish and steam will get newer jewelry back to glowing, but as it gets a little older, it might need a little more care. And that's where we come in. Our bench jeweler has over 30 years of experience and will ensure your prized possession looks and wears like new. At Diamond Art Jewelry, we use the best equipment, skilled local craftsmanship, and quality materials with an average 2-day turnaround on repair work. And just like my 94 F-150, bringing those pieces passed down through generations back to life might be the most satisfying part of our jobs. Trust my staff at Diamond Art Jewelry for your next tune-up or alignment, and let's get that jewelry noticed again. Diamond Art Jewelry, online at diamondkansas.com or stop by 807 Main Street in beautiful downtown Hayes.
Bondurant Crop Services in Nest City is ready to serve you, specializing in fertilizer, chemical sales, and application, plus seed, wheat treating, and blending. Looking for a great price? Bondurant has the fairest price of fertilizer you're going to find in Nest County. Bondurant Crop Services serves Nest County and the surrounding counties. Most importantly, they deliver their product. Call Toby, 798-3775. Don't forget to call Western Fuel and Supply for all your commercial and farm bulk fuel needs and deliveries. Bondurant Crop Services in Nest City, making your life easier.
Danny saved for about a 6-7 minute stretch there. It was nearly flawless football today from the Cowboys, something you talked about before the game in your keys. Minimizing penalties, only 2. You know, trying to establish a bit of a running game, but just coming out with a focused effort on both sides of the football, and I thought we saw that on display today.
Yeah, the first quarter was a little shaky, but man, they settled in and did everything like you say. We talked about penalties. They had 2 back-to-back penalties right after we talked about it, and that was it. That was it, and they weren't really costly penalties. The tackling was better. They won a game on the road. They just looked like, in those 3 quarters, they looked like a playoff football team, and that's exactly what I thought the Cowboys needed today, and they got it.
4 sacks on the day for the defense. They turned him over 3 times. Durant Bland with a 9th interception, capping off a regular season that saw him named to the Pro Bowl. And Dak Prescott, we've said, just a marvelous day, 4 passing touchdowns. So Cowboys setting themselves up, riding a wave of momentum heading to the postseason, which will get started next weekend. We don't know what day or night they will play. We do know it'll be one of 2 opponents, either the Packers or the Rams, and we know with certainty it will be at AT&T Stadium, and the Cowboys have won 16 straight. Special thanks to our fabulous crew today, our coordinating producer, Kevin Figures, our engineer, Tim Parker, Mike Samsel on the staff today, Mike Mataraki doing our spotting this afternoon here at FedEx Field. The senior producer is Tyler Brewer, and the senior vice president and general manager of Sports at Compass Media Networks is Michelle Salvatore. Coming up, we will head back to the Progressive Insurance Studios, where Jerry Recco is standing by to bring you all the final stats. He'll update you on scores from around the league, plus name the highlight of the game. For the quarterback, Danny White, and the rest of our crew, I'm Kevin Ray saying so long, good night from FedEx Field. Cowboys win it 38-10. You're listening to Compass Media Networks. This is the NFL.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows that Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, diarrhea,
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey everyone, gather round. It's time for corny jokes about passing the torch.
The team at Kirian's Welding was fused together solid.
Thanks for all the late nights and early shifts.
But double retirements mean the crew must bond with some certified new hires.
You've both gone the extra millimeter.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
So you're in the middle of a kitchen update, and you can't tell if that's a faucet stem or a flange. With the Home Depot app, doing doesn't miss a beat. It'll find what you need in a snap, and it'll show you how to find it in store with a tap. Or get it delivered free. For doing that doesn't stop. Download the Home Depot app. It's made for doing.
Small business owners, we know finishing your to-do list can feel like climbing a mountain, but that mountain is also covered in banana peels. Then when something new gets added to your list, you're like, nope, I'm already climbing this huge, super slippery banana peel mountain of a to-do list. At Progressive, we don't want to make your day any harder. That's why we make it easy to manage your policy on our mobile app. So climbing that banana peel mountain feels more like a leisurely stroll. See if you can save on commercial auto insurance in as little as 6 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
38-10, Cowboys beat the Commanders. The Cowboys winners of the NFC East. They are the 2 seed, which means home field advantage next week. And if they win that game, the week after that as well. And that game we now know will indeed be against the Packers next weekend. We just don't know if they're playing Saturday, Sunday, Sunday night, or Monday night, which we will find out. Of course, the Cowboys made a big stink about the whole Monday night and then having to go to San Francisco later in the week. We shall see what the NFL does this time around. So with that, we get to the scores and kind of set some things up for you. The Rams have just beaten the 49ers 21-20. This is some matchup when you talk about the 3-6 in the NFC. Rams in Detroit, on the surface, not that big a deal, but when you dig a little deeper, you realize Matthew Stafford going into Detroit. So that one should be an interesting one for sure. The Eagles do lose to the Giants, so the Giants win in their season finale 27-10. So the Eagles are the 5 seed. They will go to number 5, Tampa. The Bucs did win today as they shut out the Panthers 9-0, and they claimed the NFC South. In progress still, you've got the Raiders along our Compass Media Networks in the final minute lead the Broncos 27-14, so a good finish to the season for Antonio Pierce. The Chiefs lead the Chargers 13-12, final minute there. And final minute in Arizona, the Seahawks lead the Cardinals 21-20, a couple of teams that are going nowhere fast. Also of note today, the Titans beat the Jaguars 28-20, denying Jacksonville the AFC South. That goes to C.J. Stroud and the Texans. It also means that Pittsburgh and Buffalo are in the playoffs. All that's left now for the Bills is to find out if they'll be a wild card team or if they will win the AFC East. They play the Dolphins starting in about an hour from now to decide that. The Saints and Falcons played for a game that didn't matter because the Bucs beat the Panthers. The Saints did win 48-17, 4 touchdown passes for Derek Carr. New Orleans, as we mentioned, not playoff bound, but did go over 500, 9-8 on the season. We mentioned the Lions as the 3 seed. They beat the Vikings 30-20. Dan Campbell played his guys throughout. He wanted this game. Jared Goff threw for 320 yards and a couple of touchdowns. That game that they play against the Rams, they'll be hosting a playoff game. Detroit will be for the first time since 1993. Also of note, the Bengals beat the Browns 31-14, and it was the Jets over the Patriots 17-3. We should find out quite soon the fate of Bill Belichick. The win for the Jets snapped their 15-game losing streak to New England. We take a look and listen to the highlights of our game, and we got a whole bunch of them to get to. We knew the stakes coming in. If the Cowboys won, they would win the NFC East. If they lost and the Eagles lost, they'd still win the NFC East. And if they lost and the Eagles won, they would lose out on the division and be the wild card. Well, none of that happened except for the first part where they did win the game. And we got to it early where the Cowboys came out with a purpose. They stopped Washington on the Commanders' first possession, and then the Cowboys got the ball, and it did not take them long to get down the field and put the first touchdown on the board.
Quick snap, play action bootleg, rolling to his right, throwing back into the end zone. Jalen Tolbert moved to the inside of the defender. Look what I found. Touchdown, Dallas.
Made it 7-0 early on. The Cowboys looking sharp on that first drive. Dak to Tolbert, his first of what would be 4 touchdowns on the day, meaning Dak Prescott. Washington then fumbled the kick return. The Cowboys would take it, march down the field. However, Brandon Aubrey had his field goal attempt blocked and returned to the Dallas 20, and this was a crazy play.
32-yard attempt. Blocked. Washington scooping it up on the far side. On the return, down the far sideline, still inbounds and finally whipped around. James Smith-Williams was the one who got the block, and it was Jace Whitaker, just signed off the practice squad. He returns it 60 yards.
And really, at that point, it felt like a game-changing play because the Cowboys were on the verge of going up 14-0. Washington held them. You thought for sure it'd be 10-0, and instead the play goes the other way. And it didn't take Sam Howell all that long, 7 plays to be exact, to get his team in the end zone.
Working right to left now with those all-white uniforms. 2 receivers to the near side. Brian Robinson to the backfield, flank to the left.
Up a 36-yard field goal to Joey Sly, but you look up, and here we are in the second quarter, and Washington led this game 10-7. So a very important drive for the Cowboys after the field goal, and they did exactly what they needed to do. 7 plays, 71 yards. Didn't take them all that long as they got down the field and in position to score.
They'll go with a straight eye formation. Line up directly behind Prescott, who works from under center. They give to Pollard, running to his right, goes down low, punches it across for the Dallas touchdown.
And so the Cowboys retake the lead 14-10. Washington would get the ball back. We were late in the second quarter at this point. They're trying to get any points. They're down by 4. Even a field goal would be good. And instead, Sam Howell makes a big mistake.
Play clock down to 2. Shotgun snap. Here's a 5-man rush. Howell. Kennedy throws. Pass is picked off. Picked off at the 35-yard line. Cowboys come away with it. Donovan Wilson, the playmaking safety. An interception last week to seal it against Detroit. His second. And it stops the Washington threat with 1:40 to go here in the first half.
And as Kevin said at the beginning of that hit as he throws, it was DeMarcus Lawrence that got the pressure on Howell, actually hit his arm as he released the ball. The ball kind of fluttered, and there was Donovan Wilson. 6 plays later, here was CeeDee Lamb.
Shotgun snap here. Prescott looking to throw. Fires end zone. Caught. Stretching across. Dallas touchdown. CeeDee Lamb grabbed by the shoe top, the defender, Sean Chandler, trying to keep him out of the end zone, but he was not going to be turned back.
Beautiful play by Lamb, and so this really was the sequence that changed the game. Pollard from a yard out, the Donovan Wilson interception leading to the Lamb touchdown. It was a huge 14-point swing, and just like that, the Cowboys go to the break up 21-10. You come out in the third quarter. Now, if you looked at the scoreboard, the Eagles were getting lit up by the Giants. You could make the case that at 21-10 coming out of halftime, Mike McCarthy could have rested his guys. Well, they weren't satisfied at 21-10, and so he gave them a chance to go out there, and boy, did they do the job. A 12-play, 75-yard monster drive that took over 6.5 minutes off the clock. We mentioned CeeDee Lamb before halftime. Here was CeeDee Lamb after halftime.
Second and goal to go from the 6th, 12th play of the drive. Prescott with time, looks right, now steps out to his left, circles back to his right, pointing out, spot in the end zone, rifles a pass, back of the end zone to guess who? Number 88, touchdown, CeeDee Lamb.
Really felt now at this point that this game was out of reach and in control. 28-10, the Cowboys led, but they weren't finished because they would then block a Tress Way punt. They would recover it at the 9-yard line, and 3 plays later.
Donald flank to the left of Prescott. Makes motions with his hand. 3 receivers near side. Shotgun snap. Throw. Back corner. Caught. Touchdown. Cowboys. Brandon Cooks on the receiving end.
35-10 Dallas at that point. Howell would then be picked off by Deron Bland, who has had just a great season. Now, Brandon Aubrey, who had the field goal blocked earlier, actually missed a 36-yard field goal at this point. However, in the fourth quarter, Aubrey can go into the playoffs feeling as good as he has all season as he connected from 50 yards out to cap the scoring, and the Cowboys won by a final score of 38-10. Time to check the final stats, sponsored by the Capital One Quick Silver Card. Earn 1.5% cash back on every purchase. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details. All right, so the stats, Sam Howell, he really struggled today, and I know he had a good start to the season, but things have not gone well for him the last month and a half. 19 of 27, just 153, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and he was harassed. He was sacked 4 times and hit numerous others. Brian Robinson had 9 carries for 25 yards. As a team, Washington only averaged 2.8 yards a carry, had a total of 50 yards on the ground. Terry McLaurin, 6 catches for 56 yards. Antonio Gibson had 3 for 28. For Dallas, how about these numbers for Dak Prescott? 31 of 36. He barely missed. And keep in mind, one of the incompletes was the tipped ball. He throws for 279 yards, 4 touchdowns, and yes, the 1 interception. And the biggest number, especially with some guys banged up front, no sacks, which is outstanding. Cooper Rush came in at the end. He was 3 for 4 for 30 yards. Tony Pollard, 17 carries, 70 yards, and a touchdown, went over 1,000 for the season. C.D. Lamb, another big game. 13 catches on 13 targets. That is impressive. 98 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. Jake Ferguson, 6 for 69. Brandon Cooks at 6 for 39 with the touchdown. Jalen Tolbert, the early touchdown catch as well. Catches for Rico Dowdle out of the backfield. Peyton Hendershot. Also Tony Pollard had a couple, and Jalen Brooks with a short catch as well. Cowboys win it by the score of 38-10. We don't usually look at the defensive stats, but notable just that Micah Parsons had another sack, his 14th of the season. Sacks as well for Dorrance Armstrong. Sam Williams had a sack, 1.5 for Dante Fowler. And while we're not mentioning DeMarcus Lawrence, he had multiple pressures. I believe it was 3 pressures and quarterback hits on Sam Howell, so he was outstanding as well. And so just like that, we are all set. Cowboys-Packers at some point next weekend. We'll take a timeout, come back and discuss that and more. Cowboys beat the Commanders in Week 18, 38-10. You're listening to the NFL on Compass Media Networks.
Electric space heaters can be a great way to keep warm during the winter when used safely. Plug space heaters directly into a wall outlet, never into an extension cord or power strip. Only use space heaters in occupied rooms, and always ensure there's a working smoke detector. Keep space heaters 3 feet away from drapes, furniture, and other flammable materials. A safety message from Midwest Energy, a customer-owned cooperative, making energy work for you.
The Taco Shop in Hayes has been serving the area since 1970. January specials include a Sancho, cheese enchilada, beef and bean burrito, or beef enchilada, each just $3.09. Call for non-contact delivery or download the app today.
Come on down to the Taco Shop. You never had it. You never had it so good. Taco Shop.
Simpson Farm Enterprises carries the Apache line of sprayers, and there's a reason. In fact, there's several reasons. Apache sprayers come in 5 different models to fit every size of operation. They feature premium technology and the exclusive power-to-the-ground mechanical-driven traction. Most of all, the 5-year warranty offered by Apache is unmatched. That's why they have the highest retained value in the industry. See Simpson Farm Enterprises today at any of their 5 locations and spray with the best you can buy.
Get ahead of the fall rush with Worth Heating, Plumbing, and Air Conditioning of Hayes. Don't wait until the chill sets in. Our skilled technicians are standing by to make sure your home is ready for the changing season. Schedule your plumbing and heating system checkup now and experience worry-free comfort all season long. Worth Heating, Plumbing, and Air Conditioning of Hayes.
Annoying? Because you're worth it.
Connected all together with GBT. When your home or business needs security, connected all together with GBT. Nextech Wireless has a plan to serve your needs. See how easy switching over now can be. We're the gateway to broadband and technology. Connected all together with GBT.
Golf Center in Hayes is the perfect place to take your friends, family, or that special someone for an evening of fun. They have virtual driving ranges that simulate the top courses in America. They also have a fantastic mini golf course outside along with a driving range. And for the hardcore golf enthusiasts, you'll find a complete pro shop with all the top brand names in the game. If you haven't been to the Precision Valley Golf Center in Hayes, you're missing out. Get in the game. Go see them today at 1500 West 27th Street in Hayes.
Compass Media Networks. Move in the right direction. It's now time for the Wrangler highlight of the game.
Second and goal to go from the 6. 12th play of the drive. Prescott with time, looks right, now steps out to his left, circles back to his right, pointing out, spot the end zone, rifles a pass, back of the end zone to guess who? Number 88, touchdown, CeeDee Lamb.
Highlight of the game sponsored by Wrangler. 75 years of history and still blazing trails. Check out Wrangler.com today to discover new styles and all the latest denim trends. Wrangler for the ride of life. 38-10, Cowboys beat the Commanders today. A fitting highlight of the game brought to you by Wrangler as CeeDee Lamb was a monster once again and Dak Prescott on target as those two go into the postseason pretty much locked in. A lot now that will be decided tonight. Obviously, the Bills play the Dolphins for the AFC East. Both teams are playoff bound. At the conclusion of that game is when I imagine the NFL will announce next weekend's schedule. And keep in mind, you'll have 2 games on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, the 1 on Monday night. My guess would be with the Cowboys and the Packers, there's really only, I would think, 3 time slots for them. Saturday night in prime time, Sunday night in prime time, or Monday night in prime time. Or I suppose it could be Sunday at 4:30 as well. But here's what you're not going to get. You're not going to get Sunday at 1. You're not going to get Saturday at 4:15. So you would think the other 4 time slots are in play for the Cowboys and the Packers. Seems like the Cowboys play the Packers all the time in the postseason. Well, they'll do it again next week. Jordan Love and the Packers beating Chicago. Also keep in mind tomorrow now, you're going to have numerous teams making coaching changes. And the big one to keep an eye on is obviously in New England. What do the Patriots do with Bill Belichick? We shall see. Also, what do the Raiders do with Antonio Pierce? My guess would be you keep him because they played really well under him. And by all accounts, the crowd was chanting AP as they beat the Broncos today 27-14. But in terms of the Cowboys, they go in, they win, they go 12-5. They win the NFC East. Part 1 is now done. As we, talked to Marquise Bell before the game, part 1 of the season is win the division. All right, well, they got that done. Now it's about the playoffs and what they can do and can they make a run. They have been a great, and I mean a great home team all season long, and even going back to last year. Can they keep it up? They have an opportunity now to play 2 games in their building. Not 1, they get 2. If they win next week, they get another one. And then who knows, in terms of an NFC championship game, if they ever get there, where that would be dependent upon who would be waiting for them. You'd have to think the Niners, but we shall see. And that would obviously be in Santa Clara. But step 1, complete, win the division. Now step 2, go win a game in the playoffs, because you can't win 3 until you get that first one. And that will be at some point next weekend. But the Cowboys do win today by a score of 38-10. Today's coverage of the National Football League on Compass Media Networks has been sponsored by Charmin, Indeed.com, Granger, Wendy's, and by NFL.com. Final score, Cowboys 38, the Commanders 10. I'd like to thank our crew for today. Coordinating producer Kevin Figures, engineer Tim Parker, statistician Mike Samsel, spotter Mike Mataraki. The senior producer is Tyler Brewer, and the senior vice president and general manager of sports Compass Media Networks is Michelle Salvatore. All right, don't forget, plenty more great sports action coming up next weekend. The journey to Super Bowl 58 in Vegas gets underway with Super Wild Card Weekend. We now know the Cowboys will host the Packers. Be sure to check your local listings for game times and stations. Once again, our final, it was Dallas 38, Washington 10. Now for Kevin Ray and Danny White, I'm Jerry Recco. You've been listening to Compass Media Networks. This is the NFL.
Is off this weekend, but Paul Russell is our Lil Host thing, because his song is Lil Boo Thing. You get what we're going for there, right?